I'm curious about some of the people that you've brought on board, because you've brought on, in the course of this company's history, some very prominent people, both from here at Aspen and elsewhere. Richard Branson was the chairman for a time. Tell me about the approach to both gathering funding around this as well as kind of gathering world leadership.
Big ideas have big personalities usually. And I think the reason is because it takes a big personality, a big thought to get over the inertia of something that's as radical as we're looking at. So I think the people that are looking at long-term things, like Jakob talked about things, 100 years, space travel, people that are used to thinking about timescales that are not this quarter or the next 2 or 3 years, both from a thought leadership perspective, like Richard Branson, like a number of the firms that we're dealing with, like Big. They're looking not at things that are here and now. And I think that allows, I'll say, success to come because you're looking at something far in the future, so bumps along the road aren't a big deal. But from an investor standpoint, it's a really interesting mix. You have kind of strategic investors like Virgin, like DP World. Virgin doesn't...
DP World is big ports runner out of Abu Dhabi.
They're looking at moving, instead of just moving boxes, moving higher up in the logistics chain. How can you own a better, widget, if you will, which is getting your goods or your cargo from one place to another faster? Virgin would be an operator, just like they don't build Boeing planes or Airbus planes, they operate them. They would be an operator for us. From an investor point of view, people with patient capital. So somebody who's not looking for an exit in 2 years, somebody who's not looking for a small number of things, but looking at something of a transformative nature that will take something like 10 years. And if you look at, I worked for a time at SpaceX, and they're going from, I'll say, garage in roughly 2000, 2002 to putting astronauts in 18 to 20 years later. We're 4.5 years old. We're trying to go from a garage to grandma's in 10. Yeah. And that's a different type of thing. It's a very different, I'll say, investor profile than someone's used to having an IPO 24 months after starting a company.
Yeah.